Ferdinand Porsche was born on September 3, 1875, in Mafusdorf, Bohemia, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, now located in the Czech Republic. Mafusdorf lay near the German Empire's border, with which Ferdinand forged strong ties throughout his life. His father, Anton Porsche, was a prosperous tinsmith, employing around 24 workers, supplying metal goods and plumbing equipment during Germany's Second Industrial Revolution. This era introduced electrification and household appliances, marking dramatic technological progress. The Porsche family, Roman Catholics with roots dating back to the 1670s in Mafusdorf, consisted of Anton, his wife Anna Narek, and their children, Anton Jr., Hedwig, Ferdinand, Oscar, and Anna. Tragically, Anton Jr. died young in an accident at his father's workshop, prompting Ferdinand to begin training early under his father to succeed him. The environment was rich with artisanal craftsmanship and early industrial enterprise, which shaped Ferdinand's inventive spirit. Early exposure to metalworking and mechanical devices nurtured his aptitude for engineering and design, setting the foundation for his future innovations. The family's workshop was a hub of creativity, blending traditional skills with emerging industrial techniques. Growing up in this milieu, Ferdinand developed a fascination for the mechanics of machines and the potential of emerging technologies, which was further fueled by frequent visits to local factories and fairs, showcasing new inventions. These fairs often displayed cutting-edge machinery and electrified devices that captivated young Ferdinand's imagination. Ferdinand Porsche grew up amid exciting technological advances. The first industrial revolution, starting in Britain in the 1770s, transformed textile manufacturing. But the Second Industrial Revolution, from 1870 to the early 20th century, brought electrification, home appliances, and groundbreaking transport innovations. Railways and steamships had revolutionized mass transit earlier, but personal transportation breakthroughs began with the safety bicycle in the 1880s and steam-powered carriages in the 1860s-70s. The pivotal moment came in 1885, when Carl Benz patented the first petroleum-fueled motor car, marking the birth of modern automobiles. As a teenager, Porsche witnessed the arrival of these early cars in his empire, an influence that would shape his career. This era also saw the rise of electric street lighting and the beginnings of urban electrification, inspiring young engineers like Porsche to explore electric motors and power systems. The rapid expansion of urban centers and the spread of electric trams further stimulated interest in motor technology and transportation solutions. These developments fostered a culture of innovation that influenced Porsche's later work. The burgeoning automotive industry attracted many inventors and entrepreneurs, creating a competitive atmosphere that drove rapid improvements in vehicle design and performance. Additionally, early experiments with internal combustion engines and electric propulsion created a dynamic environment that encouraged hybrid solutions. Ferdinand's formal education was basic, but his real schooling took place in his father's workshop, despite a difficult relationship with Anton, who was a strict and uncompromising man. In 1886, electricity was introduced in Mafusdorf to power a large textile factory, sparking Ferdinand's curiosity. He experimented by creating a small battery circuit at home, wiring the family house for electricity from the new town grid. Though initially opposed by his father, Ferdinand's skills were later praised by local mill owners, and his brother Oscar was trained to inherit the family business instead. Ferdinand's path was set toward electrical engineering and motor innovation. His early work included assembling small electric motors and experimenting with mechanical linkages, laying the groundwork for his future motor designs. He also developed an early understanding of power transmission and control systems, skills that would prove invaluable in his automotive engineering career. His hands-on approach and relentless curiosity defined his formative years. He often stayed late into the night, tinkering with prototypes and learning through trial and error, a method that honed his problem-solving abilities. These late-night sessions also involved detailed sketches and mechanical drawings that documented his evolving ideas. At 18, Ferdinand moved to Vienna, the Austro-Hungarian capital, to apprentice at Bella Edgar & Co., an electrical utility company. There, he honed his engineering skills focused on electrical grids, but was increasingly fascinated by motors, inspired by the growing presence of automobiles. He attended night classes at Vienna University of Technology, but never earned a formal degree. By 1897, he had built a wheel hub motor integrated into a car, a concept akin to modern electric bikes. In 1898, he joined automobile pioneer Ludwig Lorna, working on advanced electric and hybrid vehicles, which combined petroleum engines with electric motors, an approach far ahead of its time. These hybrid designs targeted smoother acceleration and reduced reliance on gasoline, anticipating later developments in automotive propulsion. His work during this period reflected a deep commitment to improving vehicle efficiency and performance, blending emerging technologies creatively. This blend of electrical and mechanical engineering showcased Porsche's innovative spirit. His early projects also involved experimenting with battery technologies and improving motor durability, anticipating challenges that would persist into the electric vehicle era. His exposure to contemporaneous European motor shows also provided inspiration and contacts within the automotive industry. Between 1898 and the early 1900s, Porsche and Lorna developed the Lorna-Porsche mixture cars, combining gasoline engines with electric motors driving the wheels, reflecting a period of experimentation with fuels and propulsion. Their vehicles were technically advanced and quietly powerful, entering races and exhibitions such as the 1900 Endurance Trial in Britain and the Paris World Fair. In 1901, Porsche showcased one of these cars in Matthersdorf, impressing his hometown. Despite technical successes, the company could not scale production like Henry Ford, whose assembly line made affordable cars for the masses. Ford's rise, supported by petroleum's availability post-World War I, overshadowed early electric innovations like Porsche's. Nevertheless, Porsche's work laid important foundations for hybrid vehicle technology that would resurface decades later. These early hybrid vehicles demonstrated potential benefits in fuel efficiency and reduced emissions, concepts still relevant in today's automotive industry. Their quiet operation and smooth performance hinted at the future of automotive design. The vehicle's complex engineering also provided valuable lessons about the challenges of integrating dual propulsion systems reliably. Their participation in international exhibitions helped disseminate hybrid concepts, influencing other engineers. Porsche's career grew through connections with the Austro-Hungarian imperial family. In 1902, he showed Archduke Franz Ferdinand how to operate vehicles powered by his engines during military exercises. When drafted as a reservist, Porsche was assigned to drive the Archduke. In his personal life, Ferdinand married Aloysia Johanna Kays in 1903 after a lengthy courtship. They had 2 children, Louisa, born in 1904, and Ferdinand Ferry Porsche, born in 1909. By 1906, Porsche's partnership with Lorna faltered due to limited commercial success and lack of government contracts, pushing Porsche to join the Daimler Company. His growing reputation as a skilled engineer helped him secure this position, marking a turning point toward larger industrial projects. These connections provided Porsche with opportunities to influence automotive and military vehicle development on a broader scale. His involvement with the imperial family also enhanced his social status and professional network. Porsche's role as a driver for the Archduke gave him unique insights into military applications of vehicles, which informed his later designs. His family life provided stability amidst a rapidly changing industrial landscape. At Daimler, Porsche revitalized the struggling firm by designing faster consumer cars and military vehicles. His cars were successful in European speed trials, notably winning the Prince Henry trial in Germany. He also designed artillery tractors for the Austro-Hungarian military, crucial for pulling heavy guns during escalating pre-World War tensions. These tractors evolved into powerful models such as the M08, M09, M11, and M12, with the M9 dubbed Titan, and the M12, the 100, for its 100-horsepower engine. Porsche's engineering was vital as European powers rearmed before the Great War. His designs emphasized reliability and power, influencing mechanized warfare logistics and artillery mobility. These innovations helped reshape battlefield tactics by enhancing the mobility and support capabilities of artillery units. His work demonstrated the increasing mechanization of warfare. Porsche's tractors incorporated innovative suspension systems and track designs that improved off-road capability in mountainous terrain. These military vehicles set standards for future armored and transport vehicles in the region. Beyond cars and military vehicles, Porsche contributed to airship development during the golden age of dirigibles. The Austrian Ministry of War introduced Paravol airships in 1909, powered by engines designed by Porsche and built by Daimler. These airships were widely used in early WWI, but gradually replaced by airplanes for reconnaissance and combat. In the early 1910s, Daimler's subsidiary Vinanoat was acquired by Škoda Works, a Czech arms manufacturer, and Porsche became the design leader of Škoda's operations in 1913, overseeing a large team as war loomed in Europe. His role expanded to managing complex engineering projects, blending automotive and military technologies. Porsche's involvement in airship engine design demonstrated his versatility and ability to adapt his engineering skills to various transportation technologies. This period broadened his expertise beyond ground vehicles. His work on airship engines also contributed to advances in lightweight materials and cooling systems applicable to other vehicles. His leadership at Škoda solidified his reputation as a top engineer in Central Europe. World War I erupted in 1914. After the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, a man Porsche had known personally. The war intensified the need for military vehicles, with Porsche expanding his artillery tractor designs to create the M17 Goliath, a heavy-duty vehicle capable of moving large artillery pieces across Alpine and Balkan fronts. In 1916, Porsche earned an honorary doctorate from Vienna University of Technology and received the Officer's Cross from Emperor Franz Joseph for his wartime service. Despite his contributions, the Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed in 1918 amid revolutions and social chaos, challenging Porsche to maintain operations and support his workers. His factories faced shortages and disruptions, yet he managed to sustain production during turbulent times. His ability to navigate these difficulties reflected both managerial acumen and commitment to his workforce amid adversity. Porsche's engineering thus intertwined with the political upheavals reshaping Central Europe. He also innovated in vehicle armor and suspension to meet wartime demands, enhancing battlefield survivability. His wartime designs influenced post-war military vehicle development in successor states. Post-war difficulties dogged Porsche as the Austro-Hungarian Empire dissolved. Communist regimes briefly took power in some regions, utilizing captured Porsche-designed vehicles. He struggled to keep the Wiener Noat factory afloat amid widespread economic and political upheaval. Returning to car manufacturing with Daimler, Porsche faced creative conflicts that led him to seek opportunities in Germany, which, after hyperinflation and turmoil, began an economic upswing in the early 1920s. In 1922, Porsche succeeded Paul Daimler as chief engineer at the Daimler factory in Stuttgart. This position enabled him to influence luxury car designs and advance automotive engineering in the Weimar Republic. His work during this period helped restore Daimler's prestige and technological edge in a competitive market. The Weimar era's cultural vibrancy paralleled advances in automotive technology. Porsche also began experimenting with supercharging and improved engine efficiency during this time. His innovations contributed to making German cars competitive internationally. Soon after, Daimler merged with Benz in 1926, forming Daimler-Benz, and Porsche managed the complex integration of their engineering departments. Known for his blunt management style, he was direct and unafraid to criticize or praise as deserved. Despite his innovations in engines for cars, trucks, and submarines, Porsche was dismissed in 1928 after defending rising operating costs, a move later seen as intellectual property theft, since Daimler profited from his designs for years. Approaching his mid-50s, Porsche faced job instability but maintained a luxury lifestyle. His departure stirred controversy, yet it propelled him toward independent consultancy, where he could innovate without corporate constraints. This transition marked a shift toward entrepreneurial freedom and the establishment of his influential engineering firm. His independent work would soon transform automotive design. During this period, Porsche also explored diesel engine applications and early aerodynamic concepts. His managerial approach sometimes clashed with corporate executives. After Daimler, Porsche briefly worked for Austria's Werke AG in 1929, developing the XYRA model, whose engine would influence 1930s cars. The Great Depression led to his dismissal after only a year. Frustrated by companies hiring him then dropping him while profiting from his designs, Porsche established his own engineering consultancy in 1930, recruiting top engineers from Daimler-Benz. His career revived dramatically in the mid-1930s amid Germany's political shifts, with the Nazi Party rising amid the economic crisis. His firm specialized in automotive and military contracts, blending innovation with growing state demands. Porsche's consultancy became a hub for cutting-edge vehicle and engine development, securing his reputation as a leading engineer. This period marked his emergence as an independent force in German engineering. He also contributed to the design of supercharged engines and experimental racing cars that pushed technological boundaries. His firm's work attracted high-profile clients and government contracts. Germany's political landscape in the early 1930s changed profoundly as the Nazis surged from a fringe group to governing power under Adolf Hitler by 1933. The regime prioritized economic revival and building a prosperous ethnic German middle class, including expanded car ownership and infrastructure projects like new roads. Porsche soon engaged with Nazi government contracts, notably designing the Volkswagen, or people's car, intended to be affordable for the average German family. Though the target price was unrealistic without subsidies, Porsche's design was approved and linked to the Nazis' Strength Through Joy program, promoting social and leisure activities. The Volkswagen was envisioned as a symbol of modern Germany's technological and social progress. This project aligned industrial innovation with the regime's propaganda goals, intertwining technology and ideology. Volkswagen became a centerpiece of Nazi economic messaging. The car's development involved extensive public relations campaigns, showcasing modern engineering as a national achievement. The project also aimed to mobilize the German populace and stimulate the economy. Porsche's first contact with Hitler occurred in 1926 at the German Grand Prix. But their relationship deepened after 1933, with Porsche sending Hitler a congratulatory telegram on becoming chancellor. Both men shared Austro-Hungarian origins and gained prominence in German society. Hitler admired Porsche as a symbol of German industrial achievement, while Porsche aligned closely with the regime. In 1934, encouraged by Hitler, Porsche became a German citizen, and in 1937, he joined the Nazi Party. He also became a member of the SS by the early 1940s, attaining the rank of Oberfuhrer. His legacy is deeply marred by these associations. His close ties facilitated access to state resources and contracts, embedding his firm within the Nazi war effort. These connections ensured Porsche's firm played a central role in Germany's militarization and technological mobilization. His political affiliations profoundly shaped his career trajectory. The relationship with Hitler also provided Porsche with protection from political rivals. These affiliations provided Porsche with unparalleled industrial opportunities during the Third Reich. The Porsche family's complicity extended beyond Ferdinand's memberships. In 1930, Porsche had co-founded his consultancy with his son-in-law Anton Pieck and Jewish businessman Adolf Rosenberger, who provided crucial capital. In 1935, amid rising anti-Semitism, Ferdinand and his son Ferry forced Rosenberger out, appropriating his shares and prompting Rosenberger's emigration to the U.S. Ferry later published a sanitized account of Rosenberger's departure, obscuring the family's exploitation of Nazi policies for personal gain. Meanwhile, Porsche focused on refining the Volkswagen to meet Hitler's specifications, including seating for 5 and a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The exclusion of Rosenberger reflected the regime's racial laws, infiltrating even private business dealings. This episode highlights the intersection of politics, discrimination, and business opportunism within the Porsche firm. It exemplifies how Nazi policies permeated industry at all levels. Rosenberger's departure deprived the company of a talented engineer and financier, impacting its early development dynamics. This expulsion reflected the harsh realities faced by Jewish entrepreneurs under Nazi rule. Designing an engine powerful enough to carry 5 passengers at high speed without overheating was challenging. Porsche and his team experimented with various coolants before settling on an advanced air-cooled engine placed in the car's rear, starting Volkswagen's distinctive rear engine tradition. Finished by 1938, the design incorporated elements resembling those used by Czechoslovakia's Tatra company, leading to a patent dispute resolved only after Nazi Germany annexed Czechoslovakia in 1939. Volkswagen production was set up in a new factory town, Wolfsburg, created from scratch to build the cars and house workers. This modern industrial complex integrated worker housing, factories, and amenities, embodying the Nazi vision of a harmonious industrial community. Wolfsburg's planned infrastructure included schools, shops, and recreational facilities, aiming to foster worker loyalty and social control. The town's design reflected broader Nazi ambitions for social engineering through industry. Wolfsburg was among the earliest examples of a planned industrial city built solely around a single factory and its workforce. The development of Wolfsburg represented a model of Nazi industrial and social planning. Wolfsburg, initially called the City of Strength through Joy cars at Fallersleben, grew rapidly with thousands employed in factories and service sectors by 1939. Despite preparations, few Volkswagen Beetles were produced during the Nazi era, as factories shifted to military manufacturing as war loomed. Wolfsburg remains Volkswagen's global manufacturing center today. Porsche's design offices in Stuttgart, inspired by American production techniques observed during a 1936 visit to Detroit, buzzed with plans for Volkswagen models and racing cars developed for Auto Union Motor Company, backed by Nazi funds. These racing endeavors boosted national pride and technological prestige amid growing militarization. The Auto Union racing cars incorporated streamlined designs and powerful engines, showcasing German automotive engineering excellence on the international stage. Racing served both technological and propagandistic functions. Porsche's experience with American mass production methods influenced later German automotive manufacturing philosophies. These efforts contributed to German motorsport dominance before World War II. Porsche and Auto Union developed a series of racing cars, the P-Wagon, aiming to surpass French and Italian dominance in European motor racing. Alongside Mercedes' Silver Arrows, these cars dominated European competitions from 1934 to 1939. Porsche also designed the Porsche 64 prototype, blending racing performance with everyday usability, featuring a hardtop and an engine boosted to 32 to 40 horsepower. Only 3 Porsche 64s were built before World War II interrupted production. One model later sold for $19 million in 2019, and the Porsche 64 is seen as the precursor to the post-war Porsche sports cars. These vehicles showcased advanced aerodynamics and engineering innovations that influenced future sports car design. Their lightweight construction and efficient powertrains set new standards for performance and handling. They represented a fusion of speed, style, and practicality. Porsche's work in racing technology laid the groundwork for innovations that would appear in post-war motorsports and commercial vehicles alike. The Porsche 64's design included aerodynamic curves that anticipated later sports car trends. Despite Porsche's innovations, many 1930s designs never reached mass production due to Nazi Germany's rearmament and war preparations. After annexing Austria and Czechoslovakia without conflict, Germany invaded Poland in 1939, prompting Britain and France to declare war. Factories, including Porsche's, were repurposed for tanks and military hardware. During World War II, Porsche returned to designing armored vehicles, including the hybrid gasoline-electric VK45.01P Porsche Tiger tank, though its development issues led to its rejection in favor of Henschel's design. The complex electric drive system proved unreliable, highlighting challenges in wartime innovation. These difficulties underscored the technological limits of hybrid propulsion under combat conditions of the era. The war shifted priorities from innovation to mass production and reliability. Porsche's tank work also included attempts at improving armor thickness and mobility under battlefield constraints. His designs reflected cutting-edge engineering, but also practical wartime compromises. Porsche's successful military design was the Elephant heavy tank destroyer, weighing 65 tons and armed with a large anti-tank gun. Deployed at the Battle of Kursk in 1943, the largest tank battle in history, dozens were built, later modified and renamed Ferdinand. Wolfsburg's factories, completed in 1940, produced military aircraft parts and performed repairs. Porsche also contributed to Nazi plans for energy development in occupied Eastern Europe by designing motors for wind turbines. However, by the early 1940s, Porsche's Nazi ties deepened, culminating in receiving the National Prize in 1938, the regime's highest civilian honor. His wartime work included adapting civilian technologies for military use under intense government direction. These adaptations reflected the regime's emphasis on maximizing industrial output for total war. His engineering blended innovation with the demands of a totalitarian state. Porsche's designs balanced cutting-edge technology with the practical realities of wartime production constraints. His contributions extended to engine improvements for aircraft and submarines. From 1940 onward, Porsche's factories increasingly employed slave laborers, mostly Slavs and prisoners from occupied Europe, reflecting the Nazi racial hierarchy and wartime desperation. Though Porsche's company minimized this in official statements, records suggest around 300 forced laborers worked there, especially in 1944, when millions were exploited across Germany. The tide of war turned against Germany after 1941, with failed Soviet campaigns and U.S. entry into the war. By 1944-45, the German Reich collapsed under Allied advances. The use of forced labor was part of a broader system of exploitation that supported Nazi industry and war production. Conditions for these laborers were brutal, with inadequate food, harsh treatment, and minimal safety protections. This dark chapter complicates Porsche's legacy deeply. Forced laborers worked under constant threat and harsh oversight, often suffering from malnutrition and disease, highlighting the human cost behind wartime industrial output. Survivor testimonies and post-war investigations revealed harsh working conditions and abuses. After the war, Porsche was detained in December 1945 due to his Nazi associations, but began consulting for French automaker Renault during house arrest. The Porsche family claimed charges were exaggerated to coerce his technical expertise. In May 1947, hearings revealed Nazi overseers managed slave labor at Porsche's factories, absolving him of direct responsibility. He was released in October 1947, but remained under scrutiny during denazification. Meanwhile, the Allies reorganized Germany's automotive industry, reviving Volkswagen in Western zones, while Eastern factories were dismantled or relocated. Porsche's technical skills remained in demand despite political controversies. His post-war consultancy work helped rebuild European automotive engineering, bridging pre- and post-war technological knowledge. His rehabilitation reflected the complex post-war reconciliation with German industry figures. During this time, Porsche contributed to Renault's development of small cars, influencing European automotive trends. His expertise was critical to restarting automotive production in devastated Europe. Volkswagen quickly resumed production, with British military orders reviving the brand. Audi, successor to Auto Union, relocated to West Germany and rebranded in the 1960s. Porsche himself did not engage significantly with Volkswagen or Audi post-war. After consulting for Renault, he returned to Stuttgart, aging and passing leadership to his son Ferry. During WWI bombing, the family relocated to Gmünd, Austria, where Ferry hand-built the first Porsche 356, launched in 1948, based on Ferdinand's earlier designs and Volkswagen parts. Ferdinand visited and approved his son's work. The 356 integrated lightweight design with reliable mechanics, setting the stage for Porsche's future success. The 356 combined aerodynamic styling with efficient engineering, becoming the foundation of Porsche's sports car legacy. It marked a new chapter for the company in post-war Europe. The car's success was helped by a growing post-war market for affordable, high-performance vehicles in Europe and America. The 356's design philosophy emphasized simplicity and performance, traits that defined Porsche's brand identity. Ferdinand Porsche spent his final years in Stuttgart, witnessing Volkswagen's growth. In 1950, he visited Wolfsburg as the Beetle entered mass production and earned royalties for his engine design. That year, he suffered a stroke that left him partially paralyzed, and he died on January 30, 1951, at age 75. His views remained problematic. He denied Hitler's knowledge of the Holocaust and framed his wartime work as contributing to a greater Germany. At his death, Porsche's company's future was uncertain amid post-war industry shifts. His legacy was contested, balancing engineering genius with moral ambiguity. His death marked the end of an era, but the beginning of a new chapter for the Porsche brand under his son's leadership. His passing closed a complex and controversial life. Despite his health decline, he remained engaged with automotive developments until shortly before his death. His final years were marked by reflection on his life's work amid a transforming Germany. However, Porsche quickly flourished. The 1952 Porsche 356 became a commercial success, boosted in the US by importer Max Hoffmann. Sales grew through the 1950s and 1960s, establishing Porsche as a premier sports car maker. The Porsche 911, introduced in 1964, sold over 1 million units and is ranked among the most iconic 20th century cars. Today, Porsche remains a major European automaker and since 2009 has partnered with Volkswagen, which owns Audi. The Volkswagen Beetle remains the most sold car linked to Ferdinand's work, with over 20 million units. Porsche's racing successes and engineering advances cemented its reputation globally. The brand became synonymous with precision engineering, performance, and innovation in luxury sports cars. Its legacy endures as a symbol of automotive excellence. Porsche's commitment to motorsport innovation contributed significantly to its brand prestige and technological development. The brand's continuous innovation has helped it remain competitive in the global automotive market.
Ferdinand Porsche's legacy is complex. He was a visionary engineer, pioneering electric and hybrid vehicles in his early career, which could have profoundly altered automotive history and environmental impact. He innovated in heavy machinery and airship engines, and shaped European car design through the 1930s. Yet his legacy is deeply stained by his Nazi affiliations and the use of slave labor in his factories during WWII. Like many German engineers of the era, he claimed limited agency under the regime, but personal ambition compromised his ethics. Porsche was a brilliant designer, but a flawed individual whose work was intertwined with political oppression and war. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the interplay of genius and moral responsibility in times of upheaval. It challenges how history judges technological pioneers entangled with oppressive regimes. His dual legacy continues to provoke debate among historians, ethicists, and automotive enthusiasts. This complexity underscores the difficulty of separating technological achievement from historical context. His story raises difficult questions about moral responsibility amid political tyranny. Was Ferdinand Porsche merely a car manufacturer caught in the tides of war, or should he be judged harshly for his complicity with Nazi crimes? This debate remains unresolved, reflecting the challenges of reconciling technical genius with ethical lapses. His innovations shaped modern automotive engineering, but his collaboration with a brutal regime leaves a lasting stain. The history of Porsche exemplifies the complexities of human character in turbulent times, underscoring the need to critically assess the intersection of innovation, politics, and morality. Contemporary discussions often grapple with how to honor technological contributions while confronting uncomfortable historical truths. This duality continues to provoke reflection on legacy and accountability. Scholars continue to explore how industries and individuals navigated moral compromises during periods of authoritarian rule. The ongoing discourse emphasizes the importance of ethical considerations alongside technological progress.